Sparks that I don't remember. Hold and let it shine. Fix and start to fade away. Fix and start to fade away. Fix and start to fade away.
Hello, dear friends of Kabala International. We are once again with Mario Sabán.
Hi, Nacho. My pleasure.
Likewise, Mario, very happy to be here once again with you. Look, today, after the meetings we have had, we have decided to talk about Amalek, the absolute evil. And reflecting at home, Parashat Zahor came to my mind, which says, Zahor, remember the evil that Amalek did to us. What is Amalek? And what is this kind of evil that he does to us?
Well, look, first remember that the people of the Amalekites, which was a historical people that existed in the Sinai Peninsula, when the people of Israel were in the Exodus, on their way to the Promised Land, they were attacked from behind, killing women and children. So, when we talk about Amalek, we are talking about an evil that does not come from the front, but attacks the weakest thing you have. From the point of view of Kabbalah, it is the cutting off of the conscience. Amalek does not reach the dat. It does not reach the consciousness, and the consciousness is a consciousness of unity. When there is dat, when there is consciousness, it is that fragmented parts are coming together. Therefore, how does one reach the state of Amalek? When a person cuts off consciousness, he does not let consciousness in. His life has no meaning, nor the lives of others. Killing someone, for example, is out of all ethics. There is no conscience and no ethics, and killing someone can be like breaking a table. It is the same. The person who has reached the Amalek level has no moral problem whatsoever. It is destruction for destruction's sake. And why? Because this person does not value his own life. It is an exaltation of death, an exaltation of destruction in the service of nothingness. It has no result. That's why when we analyze Amalek, it's very difficult to find a justification. You cannot make an economic justification, nor a sociological justification, nor justification of any kind, because it is an evil that what it wants is its destruction and the destruction of the other, without any kind of justification. Of course, it can be disguised as causes. It can be disguised as a political cause or a religious cause. But in the end, even if it has no cause, Amalek wants to destroy the other. Of course, the cause serves, we could say, as a rational justification. It's like, I don't know, two very violent soccer fans that can come not only to blows but to kill each other, and that cause would justify it. If you take out the cause and cut off the conscience, Amalek has a desire for absolute destruction of the other. This is very difficult to understand from the spiritual point of view because just in the spiritual world, we are all the time raising the consciousness of not hurting the other. So Amalek is so antithetical to our position that one wonders why it exists. Why does something like Amalek exist? If there is God, there cannot be absolute evil. This is the question, isn't it? How does God allow absolute evil? The possibility of absolute evil is proof that meaninglessness can become part of an existential feeling. There are two kinds of meaninglessness. Philosophical meaninglessness of saying, well, I understand that life is meaningless, but since I am alive, I have something to do. Therefore, I live meaningless, but I continue to live. And there is another meaninglessness, which is the deep meaninglessness, that is not philosophical, it is experiential, it is of one's existence, a feeling which is, well, if I die here, nothing happens. On the contrary, I anticipate my death as something that had to happen. In short, since all this is absurd, even if I die at 70, I prefer to die at 20 and kill the rest of the mortals around me. And the worst of it all, is that in addition, Amalek in some way is increased by projection. Let's try to explain. Someone who has no meaning in his life. When he sees that someone does have sense, he wants to destroy him. The one who has a sense of life, who is an optimist, who works, who wants to progress, causes great frustration to the other because he shows him the degree of meaninglessness he has. If I have a meaninglessness of existence and I see that the other is progressing, is studying, and has meaning, I hate this other and I want to kill him because in reality, as I want to kill myself, I also want to kill the one who found something that I have not found. There is a projection of Amalek on others. Amalek not only wants to kill him because his existence is meaningless, but also because the person who has conscience and sense shows him the level of meaninglessness that Amalek has. He enters into a spiral of a festival of death. There is an exaltation of death. I kill you, you kill me. The only issue is that Amalek doesn't mind being killed. So it's like he's looking to be killed. It is the happiness of the exaltation of death. For us, those of us who are in the spiritual world, it is something completely illogical to try to explain something that is totally out of itself, totally disconnected from meaning. And I would say to you, Nacho, that we are no longer talking about belief in God or non-belief in God. We are talking about a person who might eventually not believe in God, but who understands that his life has meaning. Meaning can be constructed without the idea of God. Many atheist people give meaning to their lives and construct it with meaning. This is also a problem for Amalek. Amalek is not interested in meaning coming from divinity. And notice how curious. From the Kabbalah point of view, those of us who construct meaning do so to join the matrix of unity. And the one who wants to kill Amalek often wants to kill with the justification that he does it also in the name of God. And of course, here comes the paradox. How can one kill in the name of God? It is a paradox, because precisely what God asks of us is that information be revealed through life. The system is created for the divine matrix to cause us to exist in this physical reality, to continue to reveal, not to kill. It is an absolute contradiction to say that someone dies or kills in the name of God, because God never created the universe with this idea. The construction of the universe is given to reveal information from the matrix, and therefore, the longer you live, the more information you reveal. Imagine, I will give a practical example for people to understand. Imagine that Amalek rises in any place, with any politics, with any ideology, and kills somebody. Okay? Imagine that if this person had not died, in 10 years he would have discovered a vaccine, or he would have been the father of someone who would have cured cancer. By destroying someone, what Amalek is doing is destroying the possibilities of the tikkun of humanity. Because what he is doing is blinding the death of someone who could give all of us information to be able to continue moving toward the light. Therefore, Amalek's intervention in a way affects and delays the redemption, affects and delays the possibility of the world having more information. Every child that is born anywhere in the world is information that we do not know what it can give us. So, humanity is not aware that all those people who, for example, die in wars, and every war is a product of Amalek, all these people who are dying there are souls that are going to have to come back, that humanity is going to have to recover. They're going to have to come back. Amalek takes us backward in redemption by drawing energies from the consciousness that is revealed in this reality. But despite this, we still have to work harder. Amalek represents the death of the other, my death, and the death of self, which is global destruction. Faced with this, our option is to study and work with more sense. Amalek's bet is a redoubling of the bet of our senses.
I agree with you, and several things came to my mind while you were speaking. One that is related to some parts of the Torah has to do with the fact that there is a relationship between Exodus 7:8, the moment in which it announces that the Amalekites attack Israel, and then, just before, in 17:7, a question raised, is Donai among us or not? So, this doubt of whether Donai is among us or not is what makes me link with what you were saying about whether the meaning comes from divinity or not, or whether we are capable of embodying that divine meaning in us and giving meaning to things, give meaning to existence. And regarding this, there is also another thing that I was looking for, which is that the gematria of Amalek and Zaphek is 240. Zaphek is doubtful. So doubt, but a doubt without meaning.
Of course, that's the point. Existential
Yes.
doubt is one thing and philosophical doubt is another.
No, the meaningless doubt.
The meaningless doubt, the doubt that leads you to existential meaninglessness, is at the level of Amalek. But it should not be confused with the doubts and questions we may have to advance to the light.
We know that a good question is half the answer.
Of course. But many people can get confused if they hear that doubt is Amalek and all doubts are included in the concept of doubt. No. There is only one doubt that is related to Amalek, which is the doubt of my meaning or the meaning of existence. That is the only doubt. Because doubt alone does nothing. It has to be a doubt that convinces me of meaninglessness. Amalek no longer doubts, he is convinced of meaninglessness. Existential doubt opens you to reach the answer to meaninglessness, and then you arrive, for example, at a thought like Choron's nihilism in Paris that says, nothing makes sense. I am going to give a surprise to my listeners. Do you want a surprise?
Of course.
Well, I am working on a new doctoral thesis on the problem of the absurd, of existence and meaninglessness, taking on the one hand the Kabbalah, and on the other the thought of Émile Cioran. This work will take me 2 years, God willing, because I believe that there, at that point, Amalek is hiding. If we do not disarticulate meaninglessness with arguments of all kinds so that the human being reconnects with the essence of what he is, then nihilism has a good chance of winning. And if it wins the battle, we are left without a conscience. So my work for the next few years is a work that is aimed at existential reaffirmation. I think this work is almost a testament to the future, because if this work is not done, the consequences of meaninglessness are all the conflicts and the wars we are living through. Therefore, we have to go to the neuralgic point so that Amalek does not rise again. And Amalek will not rise again if the 8 billion people in the world connect with meaninglessness. Imagine if all 8 billion people in the world stand up and search for constructive meaning. Automatically wars and conflicts disappear the next day. This is the problem. The problem is that you have to go to the central core to save civilization.
Thank you very much, Mario. My pleasure. Let's keep trying to make sense of it all.
Amen.